A political ad showing graphic images will soon play on some Wisconsin television stations. The reaction from local voters to the controversial commercial and why stations are legally required to air it. And tensions continue in the Middle East, how the war in Gaza could impact voters' support in this election. Plus, improving children's literacy rates, what parents can do to help solve an ongoing local crisis. We welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. In the coming days, you may see a political ad right here on WISC-TV and other Wisconsin stations with graphic and disturbing images. It's paid for by the Terry for President campaign. Randall Terry is the presidential candidate for the Constitution Party. Maddie Himes tells us why our station is required by law to run this ad and how voters are reacting to it. Maddie?
Eric, the ad is 30 seconds long and displays disturbing images of aborted fetuses. We as a station are choosing not to air this ad in its entirety during our newscasts, but we think it's important to share how viewers feel about the ad and explain why we're required by law to air it. Randall Terry, a presidential candidate for the Constitution Party, is on the ballot in 13 states, Wisconsin being one of them. That's why his ad showing graphic anti-abortion imagery will soon be shown on our air. We ask viewers how imagery like this affects them when it broadcasts into their home.
I'm sorry, but there are children watching TV. That's totally unacceptable. Totally.
When they come on TV, I change the station.
Some told us that while the images may be unsettling, they can also be effective.
I don't agree with that political messaging, but we're here talking about Palestine. But it's hard for me to make a blanket statement against being exposed to these type of images.
And while some found the graphic images more disturbing than others, most had the same question. How is this allowed?
So what Congress wanted to do was to encourage free speech on broadcast stations for candidates. They didn't want to give broadcasters the opportunity to censor or to play political favorites.
So whether you agree or disagree with the message or how it's delivered, those candidates still have the right to air it.
So it leaves very, very no choice for local broadcasters. And that's a real struggle when the content of the ad flies in the face of the values of the local broadcaster.
That brings us to the big question. Will it affect the vote? Well, viewers we spoke to worry that it could.
It definitely would flip my vote around if I didn't know better to do my own research.
But experts say it's more likely that voters will simply turn away from the election as a whole.
I have a hard time seeing anybody reacting to this ad with anything other than disgust. So I doubt that it would be politically motivating, but it might be demotivating. So I'm so disgusted by the tenor of this election that I'm just going to stay home. That's the only outcome that I could envision.
Again, we will not be showing the ad in full during our newscast. However, it is set to start airing on our airwaves tomorrow, and we will be putting a disclaimer before the ad begins. You can head to channel3000.com right now, where we've written an article diving deeper into the FCC's decisions to allow these ads.
Maddie, thank you. A man is dead after being found unresponsive in downtown Madison. A little after 11 last night, Madison police were called to the intersection of North Pinckney at East Gilman for reports of an unresponsive man. Life-saving treatment was attempted, but those efforts were unsuccessful and the man was pronounced dead. Police say there's no threat or danger to the public and an investigation is ongoing. Temperatures will rise as the week goes on and there's a chance for a rainy weekend ahead. Let's check your first one forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Eric, southern Wisconsin, it's cool out compared to what we've been experiencing these past couple of weeks. Temperatures in the 80s, and then fall started on Sunday, and it felt fall-like. And then everything's going to change by the time we get into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Look at those temperatures Thursday going on into Friday. Upper 70s to near 80 degrees. That's over 10 degrees above normal. And then we cool down again back to where we should be. Remember, normal high temperatures this time of year are around 70, but by the time we get to the end of our 10-day, they're in the mid-60s. So temperatures will be at or above normal for the next 10 days. With that, as you mentioned, Eric, there will be some precipitation too. More on that in just a moment. We got 69 here in Madison. The sun is out now. Clearing skies will make for a cool night across southern Wisconsin. Let's plan it together. Temperatures going down through the 60s, and then when you join us again for the 10 o'clock newscast, Jacob will be here. Our temperature should be right around 60 degrees. Overnight lows right around 50 degrees. Could see some patchy fog in some of those low-lying areas as we plan tonight going on into Wednesday. A beautiful day is in store across all of southern Wisconsin. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Temperatures in the middle 70s across the area, and that's a good 5 degrees above normal. But heads up, first to let you know it's expected this upcoming weekend, clouds building in and showers. We're going to track a tropical weather system that may affect southern Wisconsin. All those details and more in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. Vice President Kamala Harris is planning to visit the U.S.-Mexico border in Arizona on Friday. That visit comes as the vice president tries to close the polling gap with former President Trump when it comes to immigration. Her campaign plans to use this trip to push back the GOP's attacks over the vice president not visiting the border enough. Border crossings are now at their lowest level since 2020, and new polling shows Donald Trump now leading in the battleground state of Arizona. And he was talking about the economy during a trip to the battleground state of Georgia today, his 6th visit to the state there. He took the stage in Savannah for a speech focused on his tax policy. Trump claims his protectionist policies will help the economy. The Harris campaign released a statement from more than 400 economists contending that Donald Trump's tariffs would cause prices to spike further. We are continuing our coverage of what you need to know about the Israel-Hamas war before you head to the polls in November in our 3 for the People coverage this week. And tonight, Arman Rahman joins us to see how 2 students, an Israeli and a Palestinian student, say their communities are viewing the candidates and the election when it comes to this very issue. Arman?
Eric, we've covered both protests against the war in Gaza and in support, of Israel since Hamas's attack last October. That civil discourse has divided college campuses across the nation and here at UW. But these students both agree they feel that neither of the presidential candidates are saying or doing enough, making their communities feel left behind.
I'm a second-year PhD student.
Of all the things you expect a student like Dalia Saba to be thinking about in late September,
Technically, I have a homework assignment due at midnight that I need to finish up.
one thing has surged to the front of her mind during election season.
If the election was today, I could not, in good faith, vote for any major candidate for president.
She says that's because while she's dealing with the normal workload of an American student, her people in Palestine and the West Bank are dealing with death, destruction, and displacement.
My dad was born in Gaza. In October, he still had cousins who were in Gaza. Fortunately, they were lucky enough to evacuate. They evacuated in April of this year, and they are currently living in Cairo. Their homes have been destroyed. They don't know if they'll ever be able to return to their home.
Saba was born here in the U.S., but she feels American leaders' funding and strong support of Israel throughout the conflict makes them complicit in the killing of her people.
It's incredibly disappointing to feel like, especially as a swing state voter, I'm being told that my vote is so important, that I have so much control over the course of this country.
Hamas's attack on Israel last October killed about 1,200 people, mostly civilians. As of August, Gaza's health ministry said more than 40,000 Palestinians have been killed in the war and 85% have been displaced.
Neither Biden nor Harris have publicly committed to doing the only thing which would stop this violence, which would be enacting an arms embargo against Israel.
According to political science professor John Peavyhouse, while that is something any candidate can do,
they're highly unlikely to do that for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is the domestic backlash that would happen, but also that would put the region in a somewhat precarious situation. The U.S. really wants to keep Iran at bay in the region.
I cannot in good conscience vote for a candidate who will fund genocide.
From a student who plans not to vote to a student who can't.
I came from Israel a year ago, so I'm a sophomore and student athlete in the cross-country track and field team.
Israeli citizen Matan Irwi also feels a bit unsupported by the presidential candidate's rhetoric.
It seems like both sides just trying to avoid talking about this too much, and both sides just feel they can lose voters if they will talk about the issue around Israel. And I think that it's problematic.
This, as he sometimes goes day by day, not knowing how his friends and family back home are doing.
Most of my family and friends are getting into this unsafe and unquiet situation of sirens and attacks.
While they're on both sides of the issue,
definitely don't give me, as an Israeli living in the U.S., the feeling that there is the big uncle in the U.S. who has a plan.
As a Palestinian and as someone who is in community with many Palestinians, We are already at the worst case scenario.
Yearn for the same type of response from their president to bring about the same solution.
Everyone wants to vote again, both sides.
And tomorrow we'll talk to religious community leaders about how they feel about this issue leading up to the election.
Armand, thank you. Dane County Park officials celebrate as they work to make the outdoors accessible for all. Today, the ribbon was cut for an additional 1.5 miles that have been added to the existing 5 miles of the Lower Yahara River Trail. The extension includes widened path shoulders to accommodate cyclists and increase accessibility. Fish Camp County Park also seeing some improvements. There's now an accessible fishing pier along with an accessible kayak launch pier and walk-in ramp.
Trails unite communities. They provide corridors for wildlife. They offer opportunities for people to recreate and enjoy nature's beauty, as well as improve their mental and physical health. And of course, they can provide economic benefits to the area, which cannot be ignored.
Dane County's proposed 2025 budget includes another $825,000 for park accessibility improvements. A local nonprofit is giving community members the chance to help solve an ongoing literacy crisis. The Goodman Community Center's Start Literacy Initiative is hosting a community film screening and symposium. The event will run from 5 to 8 next Thursday. It's in the Ironworks building at the Goodman Center on Waubesa. Attendees have the chance to watch the literacy documentary Hopeville, along with asking literacy professionals questions and perusing local resources. Organizers say the best thing a parent can do is to sit side by side with their child and give feedback as they read.
So parents sitting next to their kid, having them sound out each sound as they go through a word and blend those sounds together and correct them as they're reading is really the best thing that can be done, and an easy way for parents to get involved and help their kid accelerate their reading. Well,
the event will include free pizza and ice cream for visitors if you're unable to attend on the 3rd. Another public literacy event will be held in the month of February. The Coats for Kids campaign continues to collect donations. News 3 Now teaming up with Clinky Cleaners, the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, and Magic 98 Radio to try and collect 5,000 coats. Here's the latest update. We're now at 1,161 coats. It's a good number, but we still have a long way to go. And if you'd like to donate, you have until October 5th to do so. Just take any new or gently used coats, hats, mittens, snow pants, and other winter outerwear to any area Clinky Cleaners. If you don't have a winter coat, you can still help by buying a coat off the Coats for Kids Amazon wish list. You can find a link to that at channel3000.com/coats4kids. And coming up, a new study links breast cancer to chemicals leaching into our foods and taking the fight to Forever Chemicals, the state funds that are helping keep our public water systems safe. And there's more local news ahead tonight on News 3 Now at 10. Richland County holds a special public meeting. How board members are addressing the public's concerns over a personal data breach. That's at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
We're often asked,
is it really free to hire Gruber Law Offices?
The answer is yes. The call, the consultation, free. You pay nothing until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Fentanyl is killing over 1,000 people a year in Wisconsin. New reporting shows that Eric Hubdy is doing business with a bank accused of links to the Mexican drug cartel. Banco Azteca loaded up $26 million in cash and flew it to Eric Hubdy's bank in California. Other U.S. banks have cut ties with this Mexican bank, but Eric Hubdy took their money. That's 26 million more reasons you can't trust Eric Hubdy.
Brian Stiles said he's proud of his extreme record. So why is he lying about it? Stiles said he was proud to be part of a group pushing to gut Social Security and Medicare, that he proudly supports abortion bans. And Brian Stiles said he's proud to be backed by extremists pushing a total ban nationwide. Peter Barca's backed by police, firefighters, and unions because Peter puts Wisconsin first, no matter the party, and that's something to be proud of.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Meet Edwin Ramos. This illegal immigrant murdered 3 Americans. An MS-13 gang member, Ramos was arrested for a gun crime. But as DA, Kamala didn't prosecute him. Months later, Ramos murdered a man and his 2 sons in cold blood.
are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The final sprint to Election Day is on, and News 3 Now this morning is focused on the races and the policies that matter to you, the voter.
We're taking a look at both sides of the issues and where the candidates stand so you can cast your vote with confidence.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 6, moving forward.
A new study finds chemicals linked to breast cancer are leaching into our foods. According to a study, nearly 200 chemicals connected to breast cancer are used to make food packaging and plastic tableware, and dozens of those carcinogens can migrate into the human body. The findings come as rates of early onset breast cancer in women under 50 are increasing. The FDA is holding a public meeting tomorrow to present its ideas on how to improve its post-market food analyses after recent criticism. Now, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources announces nearly $460,000 in grants will be used to fight PFAS and manganese contamination. With these funds, southern Wisconsin communities will be able to drill new wells to connect to existing public water systems or install water treatment machinery. The DNR expects over $2.3 million in grants will be awarded once all applications from this first cycle are processed. The second cycle will open in October. Still ahead on News 3 Now, a legendary singer is honored in Washington, D.C. How the man in black is representing Arkansas on Capitol Hill. And when we return, Alex tells us about the warm-up in temperatures later this week, along with when we could get some more rain. Stay with us.
A1 Furniture and Mattress is closing their giant showroom, and that means the best prices ever. Everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold. Name brands at huge discounts for every room. Store closing sale on now at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Get an 11% rebate on everything for your bathroom update at Menards. Check out our great selection of Max shower doors, bathtubs, and shower surrounds. Right now, get this Halo Corner Shower for $2119.99 after rebate. Put the finishing touches on your bathroom with a faucet from Moen. Moen products are built to last. Get this brand new Zyla Spot Resist Brush Nickel Faucet for $97.89 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get 25% off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today. Patio enclosures.
Right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off installation or 60-month no-interest financing. This is one of our best deals of the year. So visit our website or call the number for your new floor today.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse. Raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
A1 Furniture and Mattress is closing their giant showroom, and that means the best prices ever. Everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold. Name brands at huge discounts for every room. Store closing sale on now at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. An unlikely likeness now graces the U.S. Capitol. A bronze statue of famed singer-songwriter Johnny Cash was unveiled this morning. It joins politicians and other historical figures in the Capitol Visitor Center's Emancipation Hall. Arkansas sent the likeness of its native son to represent the state. Members of the Man in Black's family were on hand for the honor. Cash said he wore black to honor the poor and hungry, prisoners, and those betrayed by age or drugs. Well, the Madison region will soon warm up again. Here's Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington with how high those temperatures might get. Alex?
Eric, southern Wisconsin enjoyed fall for about 2 days, and now the temperatures are going to warm back up. We'll have summer-like readings very soon, but let's start off by planning your evening. It's already clearing out. We were just out in the patio. Sun's coming out, and that will be followed by clear skies tonight. And when you join Jacob tonight at the 10 o'clock newscast, temperatures right around 60 degrees, so comfortable evening across southern Wisconsin. Let's track the temperatures. It's the temperatures and the water that have been our main weather story for a couple of weeks now, and that will continue for the next couple of days here. Upper 40s, right around 50 to start off Wednesday morning. Could see a little bit of patchy fog in the Wisconsin River Valley. We warm up nicely. Look at the golds here. Mid, maybe upper 70s. Basketball, optimistic here. You might even be pushing that 80-degree mark. Remember, it's the end of fall and normal high temperatures this time of year are right around 70 degrees. Then we repeat. We just copy and paste right around 50 degrees to start off Thursday morning and watch the mercury go up into the upper 70s as we go further into Thursday. We have been on a roller coaster ride, not for the past 2 weeks leading up to this fall starting this weekend. Temperatures in the upper 80s to right around 90, averaging 10, 15, almost 20 degrees above normal. And then on Sunday, the first day of fall, those temperatures fell again down to below normal values. And let's look at the next 10 days here. Staying above normal, again, 70 is that normal high temperature right now. By the end of the 10-day period, 65. And we'll see those temperatures dip as we go Monday into Tuesday. More on that dip in just a couple of moments. Now, we have a tropical weather system. This is Helene that is over the Caribbean. Helene's going to be making its way north, impacting portions of the panhandle of Florida as a potentially very strong storm and a Category 3, if not maybe a little bit stronger than that. And then it may move and pivot towards the north and towards the west, affecting our weather by the time we get towards the weekend. We're keeping an eye on Helene as well over the course of the next couple of days, though ocean waters of the Gulf of Mexico are extremely warm, and it's not uncommon that we see rapid intensification. Hopefully that's not going to be the case, but Helene's going to impact our weather by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. First with clouds, but temperatures staying mild. If we do get any showers, it's likely going to be on Sunday at about a 30% cover. So we're not expecting heavy rainfall or any thunderstorms at this point in time. Here comes the clouds with future track. First glimpse of Helene impacting our area. Noon on Friday, we'll see those high, thin clouds from Helene moving towards the area. Could see a couple of showers as we head towards Saturday night going on into Sunday. But as you note here, not widespread green across southern Wisconsin, meaning heavy rainfall and widespread showers and thunderstorms not looking likely. Just a couple of chances here as we go from Saturday into Sunday. And then Monday, I said those temperatures are going to switch, and they do. A cold front's going to come through, and that's going to sweep all of the effects of Helene off towards the east, followed by temperatures back into the mid to upper 60s to round out the end of the weekend. If you got your phone out, get your QR code scan here. You can send us your picture. Thanks, Harry, for sending us this very pretty photo here of the Capitol.
And coming up in sports, Wisconsin volleyball begins Big Ten play on the road on Wednesday. While Kelly Sheffield says his squad is pretty familiar with the Gophers. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I'm Joan Balwig, and these days the cost to make Great Grandma Balwig's Blue Ribbon banana bread is, well, just nuts. Wisconsin families are feeling the pinch of inflation, even on the basics. That's why I work to put dough back in your pockets. Led the effort to defend our family farms and pass the biggest tax cut in state history, because the only way to make life affordable again is to do what banana bread does and bring everyone to the table.
Nobody wants to replace the roof, but these days many roofs are only lasting 10 to 15 years, costing you tens of thousands of dollars. RoofMax makes your roof like new by strengthening and rejuvenating it. RoofMax treatments, started early enough, can extend the life of your roof by 15 years or more. And even if you think your roof is at the end of its life, 90% of the time, RoofMax can extend the life of your roof by 5 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. So give us a call and we'll give you a free assessment to see if your roof qualifies.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender. inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
When it comes to winning internet, TDS is in a league of our own. Just like the Green Bay Packers, Wisconsin born and bred, we live, work, play, hire, and get involved in the communities we serve. Like delivering the green and gold standard of internet. 100% fiber internet that's as fast, powerful, and reliable as your other hometown favorite, the Packers. TDS, internet that's built Wisconsin strong.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
We found out our baby had severe fetal abnormalities and that my life was at risk. But Wisconsin Republicans' extreme abortion ban forced us to leave the state to get the care that I needed. It was a nightmare. Eric Hovde pushed to end Roe v. Wade. And in the Senate, Hovde would give Mitch McConnell the majority to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of women like me. What is wrong with these guys?
Wisconsin and Minnesota are no strangers on the volleyball court. The two have met 92 times. The 93rd meeting is Wednesday in Minneapolis for the Badgers in their Big Ten opener. And if Kelly Sheffield's squad needed to be even more familiar with the Gophers, well, it happened this season. They both wrapped Pfizer Forum for that showcase, and they both made the trip down to Waco for the Big Ten Big 12 Challenge. And from what he's seen, Wednesday should be a battle.
First time we saw them this year, you know, it didn't surprise me, but it was, man, these guys are really starting to play better. And that's always a great matchup between two powerhouse teams and a lot of experience coming back for both programs. So excited to get this thing started.
Well, don't look now, but Wisconsin women's hockey is back, or will be in 3 days when they drop the puck on their season against Lindenwood. Now, the all-time series is, as you would imagine, all Badgers. In the last year, they outscored them 22-1 in 2 games. But for this group, it doesn't matter who they're playing. It's their season opener. You could say they're looking forward to being back in the bond.
The excitement level is through the roof. I'm really excited to see what this group can do. We've had a great off-season. You know, we've been having fun, and you know, we're going to make a few mistakes, but that's part of the process.
It's a long season, but you know, you're always super excited for that first game, that first weekend, and having it at home is going to be really exciting. I'm excited to be back in front of our fans at Le Bon.
And you're not going to want to miss this week's episode of Wisconsin Huddle. I sit down with Wisconsin receiver C.J. Williams ahead of his trip back to Southern California to play against his former team, the USC Trojans. Show starts 6:30 on Friday.
It's gonna be weird for him.
Yeah.
He played for him. Oh, that'll be interesting. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, we got a little bit of summer and fall in our forecast. Summer for the next couple days lasting through Sunday. Little shower activity Sunday and Monday, and then we're back to fall-like temperatures.
Alex, thanks. Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a great evening. We'll be back here tonight for News 3 Now.